Hello friends and welcome to the channel. This is Stormhaven Gaming, I'm John and this is Timberborn. Okay, we're picking up around day 18, or 18 days left of the drought rather. We're on day 19, so we're, I was close enough. We've got a couple of buildings lacking workers. Those are, I believe, a couple of these inventors' huts. Because we need more breeding pods on. The advice I was given turns out to have been wrong. So yeah, we need more breeding pods active, otherwise we can't maintain our population. Yep, so that's happening. Over here, we've laid in and set off the first lot of explosives. Under here, let's drop this. There we go, so we've dropped all of that and there is water underneath. And as you can see, it's not hydrated. Yeah, so this doesn't work either. No idea why. Maybe it'll work when we put the dirt in to cover up these channels. I'm not holding out a huge amount of hope, but, it might do. You never know. I don't see why that would make a difference, other than the fact that it's then connected to all of this hydrated land around it. Maybe that will make a difference. Over here, we're starting to lay in the dirt to sort of square off this corner, so that's good. We do currently have like 20 unemployed bots, so again, also good. We've only got one of our bot assemblers active, so that's able to keep maintained, just not our population. Water-wise, yeah, we got 9,000, nearly 30,000 food. Not a problem. Really not a problem. Yeah, that's basically what's happening. We've got our big reservoir here is maintaining its water pretty well. But then we're not drawing a huge amount because we're full. So we're only drawing to replace what gets used, basically. Down here, we've still got 1.5 tiles or so to draw from. So plenty of water left in there. Yeah, I think we're good. We've still got a little bit of water left in there, for goodness sake. But then the drought has only been going on for a couple of days, so, it's hardly surprising. At this stage, I think I'm just going to have to carry on. I'm going to get all this laid in, and then they'll go back to laying in the next of the explosives that we've set up. Looks like some of them are being done as we're talking. So we're just going to come back there, and then we're going to take all of this out here. And then, if it doesn't work, I'm going to forget about it and put a swimming pool in. So, yeah. That's basically what we're looking at the moment. This is the kind of last gasp to see if I can get this underground hydration system to work. People have been saying, oh yeah, just put in a 3-wide channel. Well, we've got wider than 3-wide channel, and it isn't working. So, yeah. That's where we are at the moment. I'm not sure they've really worked out this underground stuff properly. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. It might work. You never know. But at the moment, we're just going to spin on. We're just going to let them get that done. We're going to let them get this dirt laid in. Once they've finished over here, we'll lay in more dirt. We'll square this whole area off. We'll see how far the hydration goes, the irrigation goes. It's entirely possible that we might actually, when this is full, we might get up to the edge of the map so we can use all of this area here. No idea. I don't know what's happening here. I mean, other than the fact that it's up on platforms, so maybe the hydration isn't reaching it. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I'm not that bothered by it. I mean, we can just, as I say, just put a swimming pool in, really. Just scatter the place with swimming pools and use that to hydrate, not bother about all of these newfangled thingies, like underground explosives and what have you. But we'll see what happens. For the moment, as I say, I'm going to spin on through the drought. We'll come back periodically and see how we're doing. Okay, day 23, 14 days left of the drought. We're doing okay still, no real problems. We only have one building lacking workers here, but apparently we have to vacant slots, so I assume that they're in one of our haulers posts somewhere. Where's the building that lacks workers? An inventor hut there, yeah. So I assume the other one is one of our haulers huts somewhere, but you know. Over here, it was pointed out that the reason that this is draining more quickly is not because of our showers, but because our tubeway ran through the water and thus sucked water out of here to irrigate all of this. Because that's how tubeways work, apparently. So I just lifted it up above the water level there, so we shouldn't have that problem anymore. So in theory, these two should now pretty much stay at the same level. There may be a difference in evaporation, but who knows. Over here, as you can see, this is now not hydrated either. If we can drop that down to the right level, I think it's 12. There we go. We haven't quite got enough water in here to fill it, so let's open up that for a moment. We'll see if any water can actually come through there. Yep, we've got some coming through. So we'll allow this to fill up, and then we'll see if it actually makes any difference to the hydration. If it doesn't, I'm just covering this all up. I can't be bothered to mess around with it anymore. But we'll see. We'll give it a few minutes to fill up. There we go. Looks like that water's filling in nicely. Making some difference to the hydration over here. Not to the land directly above it, though, obviously. That would be far too sensible. Yeah, maybe leaving one or two dirt piles instead of getting rid of the whole lot would have made more sense, but yeah, I really can't be bothered to mess around with it anymore. So I think we're just going to write this off as a bad job and move on to something a little more productive, like filling all this in with dirt. So I've got them started out. We've moved on from the corner, and we can just carry on laying all this in as we go. We might need a path along here, but we can certainly do that. There we go. There's a path along there. Excellent stuff. Right. We've lost the water from this little rivulet here. I am wondering if we should bother putting floodgates on there as well, just to see if this will maintain a little bit longer, because this seems to evaporate very quickly, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. There's not a lot we can do about it other than putting a dump on there. There's not a lot we can do. Let's just make sure. Let's have a look. Where are we? Okay, there's no beavers in there, so let's destroy these stairs. They don't need to go back down there for anything. Come on, platform, please. There we are. Get rid of you. Okay, and we're just going to fill all this in with dirt as well. Do I go 2 deep, or do I just go 1 deep? I mean, 1 deep will save us save us resources, won't it? All right, let's do that. Thank you. Yeah, we'll just fill all of this in 1 layer and forget it ever happened, and we shall not speak of it ever again. There we go. Right, I will concentrate on getting this land filled in then. Okay, 12 days left of the drought, day 25, and with those things filled in, it does work. It does spread hydration, so sure, great, excellent, but it does look like it's stopped by the tubeway. You know, the tubeway that actually carries hydration when it's filled with water. I mean, I love the tubeways now. I think they're great, but they need work. They definitely still need work. They should not be taking water. We shouldn't have to come out of the water and then back down into the ground. Why can't they just make them watertight? It seems ridiculous, frankly. But that is working mostly, I think. So as long as we keep that filled up with water, that should hydrate this whole level. So that's good. I'm going to wait till they finished that. So currently, we've played on for, what, 7 days? So a week, basically. We're still down 2 beavers. So the mathy types who are telling me that, oh no, you only need 5 or 6 of these on, you're wrong. You are wrong. Alright? Can we stop that argument now, please? So, everything else is going fine. We've got plenty of food, plenty of water, obviously. I'm not doing any other building work anywhere. I'm just concentrating on that top corner. I'm just letting everything else kind of chunter away to itself. I don't think there's anything we're particularly missing apart from dirt at the moment. And that should be building back up again now that most of the dirt has been laid, although quite where all my builders are, I have no idea. What are they doing? Where are they? Answers on a postcard, please. Yeah. There is literally no other building work going on anywhere. So this should be swarming with builders. We have 1 bot and 1 beaver. That's it. No idea. No idea where they're all hiding. But still, I'm sure it'll get done eventually. Let's lay some more dirt in over here, shall we? Give them something to do when they finally come off their coffee break or whatever it is they're doing. There we go. Start with that. Okay, so also I was wondering where all my builders were. They all turned up over here and filled that bit in. They still haven't finished this bit. I don't know. I have no idea why. I mean, they can only do this one at a time because that's the way I've laid it in, but waiting over here. Could have one of the dozens of builders that just suddenly appeared over there come and sort this out, but no. No, I don't know what's happening there. It seems to have gone a little bit odd. Oh well, never mind. We'll continue spinning on. Okay, day 30. 7 days left of the drought. We're making progress. We've finally finished all of this. We are making progress along here. It's slow because obviously dirt is slow to accumulate. I kind of think we should probably put in another excavator somewhere. But I don't really know where. It'd be nice to put one in this reservoir over here, but getting the power across is going to be an absolute pain. We really need one of these power shafts that takes power in from multiple directions, so that you can go up straight off of a strut, basically. So I could just come up off of there, for example. But no, we have to go in at one angle. We can't, you know, do it neatly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do there. Spreading power into this area is just going to be more hassle than it's worth, I think. Yeah, I can't think of a decent way to do it at all. Whatever I do would be a mess, so we'll not bother. We'll see if we can find somewhere else. I mean, we've got power down here, I suppose, but again, I'd have to come off the side of one of these charging stations. Yeah. Don't know. I haven't decided. I'm still sort of aimlessly looking around the place, looking for somewhere that I could fit it without massive issues, and you know, there really isn't anywhere. Wherever I put it is going to be an absolute pain in the backside, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know why I'm looking this side of the map. We've got no power at all this side of the map. So it's going to have to be this side. I guess I could just put it in there, couldn't I, next to these buildings? And I'd need to string power across, because otherwise it'd be trying to dig up our tubeway there. Let's have a look. Where could we put it? Again, nowhere great. I've really shut myself off here, haven't I? Yeah, don't know. Don't know. I'll have a think. Maybe I'll come up with something. Maybe not. Who knows? Okay, so I did put in another dirt excavator. I put it right next to this one because, I mean, why not at this point? I have also, so we swing around here, put in some dynamite. So let's set that off, shall we? If I can, you know, get close enough to it. There we go. And we are going to put in a fluid dump just there. Because why wouldn't we? Getting this filled up, that'll hydrate a little bit of land around it, which is what we want, essentially. This has obviously stopped working because we've run out of water in that channel and the water in this reservoir has dropped too far to allow us to fill it up. So that's not ideal. I mean, I could just put a fluid dump in there as well, couldn't I? Yeah, we'll see. We'll wait until the water returns. We're not doing anything with that area at the moment anyway, so it doesn't really matter. As you can probably tell, I should probably address it, shouldn't I? The frustrations are building up again with this game. They're only minor, and it's almost certainly down to my mental state at the moment, which isn't great. But at least I'm aware of it this time. So yeah, all the little things like the water going down the tube ways and this whole thing just being weird. Yeah, I have to say, if I was playing it for myself, I probably wouldn't notice. But because I'm doing it for an audience, I'm hyper aware of all of the little niggles. You know, all of the little annoyances. I love the game. Don't get me wrong. Alright? Don't think for a second that I don't like Timberborn, because I love it. I think it's a great game. It's just not perfect, and it's so close to being perfect. So close. It just isn't. But with considerably more breeding pods turned on than we were assured we needed, we are slowly now building up a population of available workers again. Our number of bots is dropping, but we have just built another... Thank you, autosave. Have just built another dirt extractor, so that kind of makes sense. Oh, we're out of working hours. That's why you've done nothing, is it? Okay, great. Perfect. We are making progress with the dirt here, so we'll carry on until the end of the drought. Okay, so the drought is over. Obviously, we did fine. Plenty of water left, plenty of food left. We currently have 8 available bots, 7 available beavers, which is good. We are making some progress with our dirt. We still have a fair amount of dirt in stock, so we shouldn't have any problems continuing this along. We are slowly filling this with water, in theory. There we go. This bot is this beaver is very lazy. Yeah, that's where we are. So I've switched off all of these sluices, so all of the water coming in will go into this reservoir for the moment. We did obviously run out of water down here, but again, that will be replaced momentarily by the water returning along here. Everything's fine over here. Our gravity batteries did entirely drain, but they should start, in theory, should start charging again. I mean, very slowly, but the water is very slow through here at the moment. Whether they'll charge up again by the next drought, it's unlikely. Okay. Everything else is going absolutely fine. Really, we are just chuntering along, letting things play. Everything is working. Our population is... it's beginning to grow. Oh, we've actually got some water staying. Oh no, that's only because there's holes in that bit. Oh well. When this gets down to the same level as that, it will start filling properly and we'll get some hydration from it. Over here, the water is returning. That's good. So that should fill that bit up. I've set those to the right height. Over here, those are set to the right height. I'm going to switch off our fluid dump and I'm going to drop those. No, I'm going to drop those. They're already at 0.8. That's fine. That's all good. Right. I can also drop those and sort of level these two sections out. And next time we have a drought, we'll be able to tell if this is actually through dehydration or not. We'll see if there's a difference then. Now that we're no longer losing water through our bloody tubeway. Yeah. It's progressing. Slowly. Slowly but surely. I mean, there's not a lot I can say other than I'll spin on, really. Because there is literally nothing I'm doing. I'm just kind of watching it play and adding in a bit of dirt every now and again. That's it. That's the limit of my involvement in this episode, really. So I guess I'll continue putting dirt in and come back in a couple of days. Okay. Day 4 then. No sign of the drought or bad tide warning yet. We are making progress here with our builder bots, pulling in all this dirt here. We're nearly done. We've nearly closed this section off, which is nice. Not too far to go now, so it shouldn't take us a huge amount of time. I'm going to give them a little bit of break here to let the dirt sort of store up a little bit again. We should be fine. I did consider just putting a top layer on this and leaving a big gap, but I mean, what are we going to use it for, honestly? If we want to go subterranean, we can just dig down and dynamite it out again. It's fine. It's not like we're going to be short of dirt anytime soon. Or dynamite, for that matter. So I just want to make sure that nothing else is flooding. Looks like everything's okay. Everything's flowing all right. A bit of flooding down here, but there's no beavers down here, so I don't really care about that. Yeah, everything is going okay. We're running low on bots, so I am going to turn on this second bot assembler just to boost those. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there, but just to boost those numbers, we'll turn that back on. Hopefully, we'll be all right. Yeah, other than that, it's again just plodding along. I do want to start building the repopulator this episode, though. So once this dirt is laid in, we will start on that. And I do then want to get a few more higher quality housing areas around. We'll put in the large barrack. I don't know if it's higher quality. It's bigger, but it's, you know, not necessarily higher quality. But we'll put that in around the lake here. And then we'll put decorations and things like that around as well. That's the plan. This seems to be working okay. I've got it set so... Where are we? The sluice is set so it automatically closes once the downstream depth reaches 0.95. So about as full as it can realistically be. It should prevent any sort of spillages over the top here. Yeah, oh, we just had a bot breakdown, so we have no spare beaver bots, 9 spare beavers. I mean, our population isn't growing massively quickly, but it is growing, which is what we wanted. Okay, yeah, these tubeways absolutely prevent hydration from spreading, don't they? Again, annoying. They really shouldn't. But, oh well. We'll have some hydration from here eventually. Well, we got a little bit now, but not enough. But that will fill up eventually, so we'll get a bit more hydration there. Yeah. Alright, well that's where we are. I'll spin on until the start of the drought. Hopefully by then we'll have finished this little section here. And hopefully by then I'll have figured out what it is that's slowing my PC down today. There we go. Bad tide to start. It's going to be 29 days. That's not ideal. That's quite a long bad tide. We'll probably be okay. Oh no, we're going to have some problems here. Okay, no, that's opened. All right, well, we've got a little bit of contamination, but we'll just have to deal with it. But that is all coming out the bottom, just if I can get an angle where we can see it. That's coming out the bottom just there. Perfect. So what's that set to? Below 4, and that's set to, come on, above 5. All right, well, let's drop that to above 4 as well. See if that helps. Everything seems to be okay down here. And everything seems to be okay up here. So, yeah, looks like we're all right. Oh, well, how did these do? Really badly. They barely lifted up at all. So, this whole section here is not worthwhile. Really? Unless I put an engine on it, but then that kind of defeats the object, doesn't it? Oh, well, never mind. Never mind. It was a moderately good idea while it lasted. Okay. This is all going to pollute. That's fine. These are set to 0.85. We'll drop them a little bit. Shall we? No, we'll leave it where it is. That'll be fine. We'll draw the clean water whilst we can, and then they'll just sit idle for 4 weeks. Yeah. It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. But all this is done. As you can see, we've laid in all the dirt. We didn't quite manage to get full hydration around here, but close enough. So that's not too bad. Over here, we are at a level with the water that it is equal on both sides, so it is starting to fill up. It's going to take a little while because there's a lot there to require filling. We're going to obviously use a lot of water out of our various reservoirs. I'm going to need to turn these on eventually, but we'll leave it as long as we can, I think. Yeah, so it is what it is. Right, let's close these up then, these floodgates here, and we'll keep an eye on the levels between the two. Okay. Now then, since all this is done, and since we have a bad tide and our builders are doing very little, let's do it. Let's get the repopulator in, or at least started. 20,000 signs, we have 77,000. I think we're going to be alright. In terms of the resources we need, I think, let's have a look. 2,000 metal blocks, we have 1,800 in storage, so that'll be fine. By the time that they've brought all of those over to the building site, chances are we'll have produced the ones we need. Treated planks, we need 2,000, we have 1,000. Okay. Again, not too much of a problem. We should be able to produce enough of those. We have plenty of pine resin, we have plenty of planks, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. And 1,500 gears, we have 2,600. Yeah, we're all right there. So, oops. Now, this, I think, might benefit from an irrigation barrier. So, yes, 400 science. Yeah, I think we can probably stretch to that. So, let's bring that all down there. We're going to rearrange the paths anyway, so... No, we want impermeable floor, we want irrigation barriers. So I'll bring those across there like that as well. And we'll probably bring the path around the back of it like so. In fact, let's lay that in now. There we go, and we'll delete that bit of path and we'll delete that bit of path. It does mean they can't get onto this stretch from this side. But that's okay, I think. Irrigation barrier, irrigation barrier. That should cut down most of the issues we have with contamination. I think. We might get a little bit spilling out round here, so in fact, let's get rid of that as well and pop another one in there. And you know what? I'm going to Prioritize these so we can get these done and make sure that works. Okay. That's that. I'll spin on a little bit and we'll see how we do. Day 10 then. We are 2 days into the bad tide. We are beavering away on our repopulator here. We are sort of loading up with the resources that we need. So that's good. Over here we have completed our contamination barriers, or our irrigation barriers rather. So the only spot outside of them that we are still having a little bit of contamination is right here on this path, which is fine. I don't think that's a major problem. It might be helped putting an irrigation barrier on there. I mean, it's worth a try, isn't it? Doesn't cost a huge amount. 5 treated planks, 10 logs. So we'll stick that on there and put that on a priority as well, and maybe that will help a little bit. I don't think it's going to help over here, to be honest. But at least it sort of finishes all that off nicely. I don't know what I'm going to do with these 2 squares here. I did think about maybe, you know, expanding our bad water release section, but I don't think it's worth it. I could bring the irrigation barriers in, so we come around like that. Might look neater. So yeah, let's do that. We'll pop those in and we'll pop those on a high priority as well. And then we can delete those 2. And we'll delete that path as well since we're here. Okay, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's what's happening. We're still very early in the drought, so I'll spin on a little longer. Okay. We are on day 18. We have 19 days left of the bad tide. So we've had 10 days of it so far, and we're doing all right. We're still hovering around 9,000 water. Plenty of food, obviously. That's never an issue for us. In terms of the building work, you can see we are making a bit of progress. We have pretty much half of everything we need. More than that for gears. We don't have any treated planks left, really. 170, so that's, you know, way off what we need. We need, like, another 800 of them, but they'll be made. Metal blocks we have enough of in stock to top us off. And gears we have way more than we need, so that's all fine. This little rivulet here takes about 10 days to dry up. So we know that now. It looks like everything under here is still hydrated, but we are still at the height where this sluice is operating. So that's keeping that all filled. Obviously this is dropping quite rapidly. We don't have many bots. I've turned all of these off. So these 6 have turned off here. We have 4 bots. We have 2 of these on, so that's the other 2 from there. Every time we make one breaks down. So we've reached an equilibrium. Unfortunately, that equilibrium is bare minimum. Yeah. It's not ideal. So we do have both of our bot assemblers turned on. I'm just hoping to kind of raise that number a little bit. We're up to 17 beavers, which is good. Having unemployed beavers is always good. We'll need 8 of them in the repopulator when it's built anyway. So having a few spare is good. Now that we've got, what, 8 of our breeding pods turned on. I might turn one of them off to see if we can kind of stop that increasing. But yeah, that's where we are. And that, I've started to put in some dirt along here for when they're not working on the repopulator. So that's probably going to be some time. Yeah, that's where we are, and that's where we'll leave it for this episode. I'm sorry my frustrations rose to the surface again. It's not something I can control, but it is something I can try and mitigate against. And I'm not particularly good at that. That being said, the frustrations, especially around these tubeways again, are genuine. The fact that they will block irrigation, but they will also channel water through them. It's yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. If water can go through, irrigation can go through. It's that simple, really. That's the way it should be. In my head, at least. Over here, before I turned the water pumps on over here, we were actually striking a pretty similar level across the two ponds here. So yeah, it does look like that was the issue with the draining. It wasn't anything to do with the showers. I thought that the whole point was that showers didn't drain water. I was sure that had been debunked as a myth, but I didn't realise that tubeways would suck your water out of your reservoirs as well. I've had a look around. I don't think there's any others that are going to be causing a problem. This one's no problem because it just drops down into the water and then climbs back out. It follows the terrain there. So that should be fine. I don't think it runs through water really anywhere else. No, I think we're okay everywhere else. So yeah, it was just in that one spot. Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Please do give us a like and a subscribe. If you've enjoyed it and you want to see more, please check out the other videos on my channel. There's a couple of series that I really like the games, but they're just not doing big numbers. And I understand they're not going to be for everybody, you know. They are kind of niche, but check them out if you'd like to. And again, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, I've been John. This has been Timberborn. Please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Bye-bye.